Hello, friends, colleagues, clients, and trespassers. Welcome to Coach2Coach, the show where the world of coaching opens up to you, our listeners. I'm Laurie Schloff, executive communication coach over many decades. So Coach2Coach aims to inform, teach, entertain, provoke, amuse, and invite you to engage, all in a 15-minute time period. We coaches can do it all. Each show features a coach supreme, someone who is changing the world, one coachee at a time. And here we go, Coach2Coach to you. I am so excited. My friend and colleague, Park Howell, known as the world's most industrious storyteller, and I have to tell you, one of the best trainers in storytelling that I have ever met, is our guest today. I could talk on and on, but I prefer that he tell his story. So, Park, tell us the story of how you got into stories.
Well, Laurie, thank you so much. It's an honor to be here with you and your esteemed viewers, listeners. I've been in the advertising, branding, marketing world almost 40 years. I ran my own ad agency for 20 of those years. Excuse me. And then about halfway through my career running my agency, Park & Co. out of Phoenix, Arizona, the internet showed up and digital marketing showed up. And what we knew about advertising and marketing and branding went right out the window, and we had to completely evolve with that process. The main problem that we had to solve for ourselves and our clients was, how do you get noticed in this unbelievably noisy world that we all live in now? And the old-fashioned way of doing it, advertising, branding, marketing, just wasn't working anymore. So I went and searched for an answer for that. Luckily, our son Parker was going to film school at Chapman University in Orange, California, a very, very prominent film school. And I said, Parker, send me your books and your recorded lectures when you're done with them, since I'm paying for them, because I want to know, what does Hollywood know about being a competitive storyteller in the most competitive storytelling market in the world, in LA. And that's when I learned about these story frameworks, beginning with the hero's journey, and then the Pixar way, and then the 15 beats to story. They all had something in common. And it was this commonality of how all those frameworks just simply reflect how we all experience life. And that's what makes a powerful story, is when you built a story on a framework like that, then that fellow Homo sapien hearing your story, that fellow storytelling ape hearing your story, gets it, understands it. And that was my big aha moment. And I said, why don't they teach this in advertising schools, to MBAs and so forth? And so I took it upon myself back in about 2008 to start training the world of business and coaches and leadership how to use these proven storytelling frameworks to be able to be compellingly clear and engage like you never have before.
Wow. Well, let's get right to it. And we have a pretty short show,
Yeah.
which could be good, because a lot of our business clients have to tell pretty short stories. But
Absolutely.
I know you have a unique framework, and I love your creativity. So what are, I don't know if you have time to tell us everything, but what are the key elements of a story? And then definitely use me as a model, because
we're going to do that. Yeah.
I want you
the
to
key elements, there's 3 of them. It really comes down. I know people say, oh, there's 7, there's 10, there's 15 different things. Yes, there are, if you want to be a story theorist and a screenwriter. But in business and coaching and leadership, we only have time. And what you really want to do is hook that pattern-seeking, problem-solving, decision-making, buying limbic brain with a message that uses the 3 forces of story of agreement, contradiction, and consequence. Those are simply big words for setup, problem, resolution. And most people in business and organizational communications don't use narrative. They go and end up boring their audience to death. And Laurie, the question is, when was the last time you were bored into buying into anything? Never. You want to use the narrative framework of setup, problem, resolution, agreement, contradiction, consequence. And there's just 3 words you have to remember.
They are?
And,
but,
therefore.
Yes. I listened to his podcast.
There you go. And let's let's show your audiences how they work. I mean, I can talk about it all day, but let me show you instead
Okay.
of tell you. You use this, and you can use it in a very short form to be able to play to that, again, pattern seeking, problem solving, limbic brain. So let's say we are going to build a quick brand narrative for your show,
Okay.
Laurie. All right. So I'm
Yes.
going to walk you through how you do it. You want to have a statement of agreement, which is aspirational. Is about, you want to begin with what is the opportunity before us. Then you insert the problem. But we aren't currently experiencing that because of this major problem, and that we're going to solve for you. Therefore, here's your call to action. Here's what we're going to do to move forward, right? Set up problem resolution. So you always want to tell the story from your audience's point of view. Your stories are not about you. They're not about your brand. They're not about your product or service offering, because nobody cares. They only care about what's in it for them. So we are going to put them, your audience, at the center of your story. Now, the first question I have for you, Laurie, is who is your number one audience? And by that, I mean, who is the audience persona, the customer persona that makes up 80% of your sales or listenership? That's
Okay.
always what it comes down to, is one that makes up the bulk of your sales.
Okay, I might give a longer sentence than you want, but professionals who are very interested in finding out what coaching, especially communication coaching, is all about.
So are these coaches that want to be coaches, or people that want to be coached?
To be coached, they're interested in what the heck is coaching? What is this mysterious profession, and how can they help
Okay,
me?
great. All right, awesome. So we're going to just start with something as basic as, you are an entrepreneur really interested in potentially becoming a coach. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And now let's add to the and section. All we're doing is we're first identifying our audience, and now we want to articulate what is it that they want. Why do they want to do this? Why do they want to be a coach?
They feel they will be satisfied in terms of being helpful to people, getting results, and being in a lucrative profession. Am I on track at all?
Yep. Okay, that's fine. So you're interested in becoming a business coach, to help people, and if you really understood how to launch your coaching career, then you could have the impact and make the revenue you seek. Is that fair enough? Is that a
Yes.
statement of agreement? Okay.
Yes. And you don't want me to go on a tangent to say, like, not everyone in the audience wants to become a coach. Some
No,
people.
but this is your number one audience, though. This is
Okay.
who you are in service to. The others are listening in because you never know where that might go.
Yeah.
So they want to be a coach in service to other people and have that satisfaction of really helping people. And if they launch just the right coaching program, then they could have the impact and make the revenue that they seek. Fair enough, right?
Yeah.
But what's standing in their way? They don't know that they're coming to you for what problem to solve. What are you solving for them?
The how. Well, first of all, the what. What is coaching? It sounds interesting. And the how. How do I go about doing what Laurie does, doing what Laurie and her team does?
Okay, then let me ask you this. What emotion is triggered in them by not knowing what and how coaching is?
Oh, gosh, that is really a good one. Are you going to help me out at all?
What are they feeling out there? Are they frustrated? Are they confused? Are
I
they
think there's a combination of frustration and motivation.
okay? But let's go with the negative one at this point.
Oh,
They're
thanks.
frustrated because we're at the problem of contradiction.
Okay.
But they're confused, but they're trepidatious.
Yeah.
Okay, because they don't know how coaching works,
Right.
right? Or how to build a coaching business.
And how to go about it. Right.
Yeah. But you're trepidatious because you don't know how to build a successful
Exactly.
coaching business. Therefore, all right. So then we get to the answer: setup, problem resolution, agreement, contradiction, consequence. Therefore, what emotion are they going to have when they finally understand it, or maybe get from your show? It could be that motivation you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, pump up your motivation by listening to Coach2Coach show, where Laurie every week's bring you expert coaches from around the world to show you how to build your own business.
Beautiful.
So if we put that all together, I'm just going to
Uh-oh.
vamp real, I'm going to probably blow it, but
That's
you, and I'm going to
okay.
say you, this is to your audience. This isn't
Yes.
you, Laurie. This is you saying this to the audience.
Yeah.
You are a fascinated entrepreneur who is super interested in building a coaching business. And you know, if you had the right business model in place, then you could have the impact on people and the impact on your income that you seek. But understandably, you're trepidatious because where do you turn? How do you learn how to build a coaching model that is really going to work and have that kind of impact? Therefore, imagine getting motivated by hearing from great coaches from around the world who have done exactly what you want to do. That's what happens every week right here on Coach to Coach with Coach Laurie Schloff, your resource to not only build a coaching business, but to have the impact on the people in the world and your pocketbook that you seek.
Oh, thank you, Park. Boy, that was, uh, I didn't expect to have as positive an outcome. And as I don't want to say commercial, that might sound a little crass, but that
No.
was really,
But
really
it's a
well
brand
said.
narrative, so it's something you can build off of. And even that got a little bit long because I'm just kind of winging it here. But
Right.
look at what you want to always do is
Yeah.
identify your number one audience. Who are you speaking to? And make sure you put them at the beginning of your and statement of agreement. Then you articulate what is it they want and why is that important to them. So you have this shared vision for what you could build together. And all you're wanting to do is a statement of agreement, get them nodding yes. Yeah, you're right. That's exactly what I want. And what you do when you get that nodding going is you basically trigger these two forces of trust building. That I say the ABT's three forces of story, agreement, contradiction, and consequence. It also, when you do it right, has three forces of trust building. So what you've done is you've identified your number one audience, showing them that you understand who they are and you appreciate what they want and why that's important to them.
Mm.
But then you demonstrate your empathy for the frustration, the trepidation they're feeling because of this major problem. So the three forces of trust building, understanding, appreciation, and empathy that then delivers right to your therefore call to action. Therefore, imagine how motivated you'll be by hearing from experts around the world that have built coaching businesses like you want to build when you listen to Laurie Schloff in
Right.
interview there. So that's where the trust building comes in. That's when you ask them to do something and they move on. And you've got beautiful story structure there. It is narrative that our limbic brain loves. If you didn't use the but and you didn't use the therefore, it would be and this, and this, and this. You never get out of act one. You never get out of exposition. And it is boring to our brain. Our brain is like, all right, well, where's this going? But we go, and but therefore, it's set up like a joke if you really think about it. You set the stage, you but have a pivot in there to intrigue that curiosity, and then therefore here's the punchline.
Beautiful. Yeah, no, and you also help me, I think, to appeal to a large segment of our audience.
Yeah.
And
Well, and
and
the thing is, yeah, people try to be all things to all people. And the thing is, you want to be everything to one group. You want them listening, and you're going to attract in these other audiences because they want to hear what you're saying to these groups, and it does appeal to them. But what the biggest mistakes people make in storytelling is really three things.
okay.
Number one, they don't focus on a singular audience. They focus on a huge
Mm.
audience, they get lost. Number two, they talk too much about themselves and their offering, and stories are not about what you make, but what you make happen in people's lives, what's in it for them. And then number three is having a singular problem solution dynamic. I don't want you trying to solve any more than one problem with any one and but therefore statement. And quite often we get locked into, and we can do this, and we lose them. Our brains are wired for one thing at a time. It's a pure primal survival mechanism. It's not a bunch of stuff trying to digest all at once and make sense of it. It's making meaning out of one problem solution dynamic at one time. And that's the beauty of the ABT. It does all of that for you when you follow the process.
Beautiful. Gosh, I think we learned a lot in 15 minutes.
Is that 15 minutes? Are we done?
Yeah, believe it or not, it's probably your shortest show ever.
All right.
My ADD, but now I've got ABT. But therefore, no, seriously, everybody, being a master storyteller is challenging, but Park gives us the roadmap to do that. So keep on telling your story, and we'll see you next time on Coach to Coach. Keep on coaching.
Thank you, Laurie.